Let me show you how to propagate blackberries nature's way. I've got a shoot here coming up that is, actually this one here is what I'm going to use, and it's coming off of this one, low down on this cane that's sticking up. And I don't like the low down ones, the ones that start real low on the plant. And I don't know where you can see that right in there. But what happens with these blackberries, if they touch the ground, they will begin to root. So what I'm going to do, try to do this with one hand, I'm just going to kind of scuff the ground up. And I don't know that I really would need to do that. I want this particular cane to come in contact with the soil, and it will start to root. So I'm going to scuff that up a little bit, kind of get the grass out of the way. I know I'm shaking the camera, y'all are going to write and comment. Okay, so what I'm going to do is lay that down. I'll hold it down with my shovel right now, and I'm going to make a U out of that piece of wire, and I'm just going to push that U, that wire, down to where it comes in contact with the soil, and that will root. And at some point I will come in here. It won't take long for it to root really, but it'll start growing right here because it's going to root right there. So at some point when I feel like it's got enough roots, and that's probably going to be this fall, I'll come in here and cut this off from the mother plant and keep this cane. But for right now I am starting another cane, and you can see that it is in an area that is void, so I need a plant right there. I'm going to do that in several different places. I want this one to stand up. But anyway, that is the way to do it. So that's the way to root a nature's way. Anytime a cane touches the ground, if it's touching the ground for any length of time, it's going to start rooting. So what you're doing is just helping the process. And it's a good way to get free plants. Take your lower hanging, or your lower canes, and when I say lower canes, you see what I'm saying, where this one right here starts pretty low to the ground, 12 inches or so from the ground. You really don't want that. I mean, it's okay, but if you can use that to fill in, and what I'll probably do on this one is take that one, bend it down, and put a little piece of wire on it. And I'll fill in this bare spot. I've got a little bit of a bare spot here. These are my thornless that have not just done a great job. In fact, here's another great candidate right here. That lateral branch is about 6 feet long. So I will probably take it and lay it down there and do that. Good way to get free plants. Good way to just use the nature of the plant, which is to root itself. And tomatoes will do that also, I think. But tomatoes don't necessarily start another plant. They'll just grow and root. But this is a good way to do that. And this is a good lateral, a good cane. It's already got a lot of shoots, small shoots coming off it. But I'm gonna lay it down and do the same thing. Now I'll show you that one more time. We're gonna do this lateral right here, coming off. That's a pretty good cane right there. But this is one of the lower laterals. It's starting about 18 inches up and coming way out. It's about 6 feet long. And I'm just gonna come in here and let it root about right there. Now, one of the reasons is I've got some plants here, some canes here. That is last year's stump. You can see where I cut out the old canes, the canes that grew last year and made blackberries. This grew last year, made blackberries. This year I have already cleaned out of this row. And this is the only thing that came up from it. So that's just kind of spindly, not a whole lot to it. I would rather have a nicer, bigger, more vigorous plant. So that's what I'm going to do right here. Let me find my piece of wire. Okay, there again, it's just about an 8 or 10 inch piece of wire, and this is aluminum. It's a little light aluminum. Is rather have it maybe something galvanized, something a little stiffer steel. Just gonna scuff the ground up so it does have contact with the ground and not just mulch or whatever. Lay it down. See if I can. This is not easy with one hand. Lay it down. Take my wire and just push it down in the ground. Again, there's the wire, and this will root right there, and then it'll start growing up here. Good way to do it. Great way to fill in between your rows. And if you're on a budget, and I've been meaning to say this in another video, or in my other videos, if you're on a budget, let's say you want to do 100 feet of blackberries, and you're on a budget and can't afford to put them every 2 or 3 feet apart, you may want to put them 4 or 5 feet apart or 6 feet apart, and after the first year, use the ones that don't fill in on their own. Use that method to fill in between your rows, between your plants, and that way you get a good solid hedge like that. Okay, these are looking excellent. Again, these are the thornless, and I'm propagating them simply because I don't have any to plant. These are Arapaho, so I'm not propagating. I'm planting the canes, or letting the canes touch the ground, because they're just not the vigorous plant. They're not as vigorous as, I mean, that's not a bad row. There's places that are pretty decent, but it's nothing like these thorn varieties, primocane varieties. So anyway, just a quick, easy way to fill in the gaps in between your rows. If you already have blackberries, I think it works on raspberries. Just an easy way to do it. Get back in my little mobile here and clip me some more wires and plant me some more.